Dude, that's cool, man. So, Ben, I got to introduce you, man. Ben Oxley. Am I saying your last name right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I love the music and tattoos, and I know you do have a few tattoos.
Oh yeah, I got a lot. I'm
When
covered.
when did you get your first tattoo?
When I was 18 and I'm 36 and I hadn't stopped yet.
Do you got any tattoos you regret or
No,
regret getting?
no. I put a lot of thought and a lot of time into what I do.
That's good. Man, I'm trying to find out how we met. I think you said you saw some of the Good Company episodes.
Yes, and then I also ran into Paul at the last Seven Death show.
Paul is awesome, man. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
cool that you're friends with him.
Yes, sir.
So you were dealing with cerebral palsy. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you can.
Cerebral.
Yeah, you can say CP. Just call it CP.
CP. So much
Yeah.
easier to say, man.
Yes. I saw you backstage or whatever trying to figure out how to say it. I'm like, dude, just call it CP. It's all good.
Hey, not only you could see me, you could hear me.
Yeah. I'm like, just call it CP.
That's
My
good.
fr- my friends make up all kind of crazy names for it.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. They threw me off. By the way, we should tell everybody I'm using StreamYard for the first time, and Ben was watching me and listening to me. Well, I didn't know I was being recorded or watched. I'm picking
It's,
my nose, getting ready.
it's great, man. It's all good. It's all good.
I love the courage you have, man,
Oh yeah.
of just talking about what you deal with. And I was watching something on YouTube, and you're talking to somebody, and you're saying something like, kids will come up to you and be like, why do you do this or why do you do that? And parents correct their kid and say, hey, don't say that. That's rude. But
No,
you were saying the opposite. You were saying, no, that's good to get questions out there.
yeah, you can come up, get questions out there, smack me in the head, say, "What's up, man?" I like to be treated normal. Like I said, don't let this shirt fool you, man. This shirt gets me in more trouble than people walking.
Dude, that's so awesome, man. You're so outgoing. I
Thank you,
love that.
thank you.
When growing up, how did you get into you listen to like I don't know if you listen to all kinds of music or do you just listen to heavy music?
No, I listen to all kinds of music, everything from Slipknot to Pantera to Korn to Hank Williams to everything, bro. I'm just a music fan.
Oh, that's great. Who did you have somebody that got you inspired to listen to certain bands like Seven Dust or
Yeah,
Slipknot?
Actually, believe it or not, it was funny because I was a really, really huge rap fan and like DMX and Nelly and all that until about 2006. I went to my first Corn show and I said, "Oh, this is over." I went to Family Values. I said, "I'm done with rap and never turn rap back on again." I said, "I'm done."
Yeah, man. When Family Values, they are you talking about I think they got back together in what 2005 and did a Family Values kind of reunion.
Yeah, 2006 and
Oh, that's
2007.
it.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, did you see Deftones there?
I sure did.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
I've seen Deftones twice.
Oh, very cool, man.
Yeah.
So, also, I want to talk about this. You have your own YouTube channel.
Yes. What I do is I inspire people to also get up out of their chair and move around and do crazy shit, just have a good time, and also inspire and people without disabilities come up and talk to people. Watch us do crazy shit, man. I jump out of airplanes, I do all kind of stuff. So I encourage other people without disabilities to actually talk to somebody with a disability, learn from them, and do crazy shit with them.
Yeah, absolutely. What's it like jumping out of a plane?
We're at 3,500 feet, man. Not even halfway. How you doing? Good. Let's go. Ready to go? Oh yeah, let's do it that thing. All right, man. Good luck. Have fun. Oh yeah. See you outside, brother. All right, man.
Awesome, man. 14,000 feet at 120 miles an hour. Gets no better.
So, are you scared out of your mind, or are you like just like let's do
No,
it?
no, I love it. The first time I went skydiving, I wanted to do it for years. So what happened was my sister got me a Christmas present to go skydiving. So she found one guy in at Skydive Georgia in Cedartown that would do it. He takes people up that have like veterans and things, and people
Hmm.
with CP and things like that. So I was like, let's do it. So we went. I said, hey man, I said when we got on this plane, I want to do a backflip. I said, let's do it. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. He said, all right, man, I got you. So we hopped out airplane, did a backflip, man. I loved it. I didn't want to leave the air, man. I loved it. It was so fun. Actually, my camera guy that was following me, he actually came down before we did because we were just zooming through the air, just having fun.
What's running through your mind when you're free falling like that? I mean, are you thinking about anything or not dying, or just
Yeah,
thinking about life?
I actually thought about it. I want to do it again.
Right.
You would never believe it, but dude, I'm like people like you're so crazy. How do you jump out of airplanes? I tell people all the time, man, I'm living to die, dude. You're not having fun unless you're living to die.
Yeah, I love that. Have you always been that way?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
You also, do you also hunt too, right?
Yes, I killed a deer back in 2005. I fed it with a 12 gauge slug from 75 yards by myself. So I have a mount that goes on my chair, and I can pull the gun up and look down the scope of the gun and move it around myself. And I was on a guided hunt. And my guide was like, "Do you want me to shoot that gun?" I said, "Hell no, it's my gun. Give me that gun." I shot that deer myself.
Does it make noise? Does the gun make noise when it moves around like that? Are you able to be is like quiet
No,
and all
no,
that?
it don't move at all. It's on the you ever seen those? I can't think of the name of it, but it's on a clip that you tie it in. You tie it with Velcro, and it's got two little arms on the front of it. So it's got like arm. You can move the arm around. So I can do it myself.
Oh
It's on a
man,
C clamp. That's what it's called, C clamp.
C clamp. Yes, I got you.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
father is a big like hunter, and his
yeah.
basement looks like my basement, but except it has animals all over the walls.
Well, yeah. Well, your basement's a lot cooler.
I gotta have you over sometime, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
So there's a famous video of you on stage with Slipknot.
Yes, man.
Ben, I got you, baby. I got you. You're on stage. Look. You're up here, man. You're up here.
Said, I gotta find some clothes or something. Well, he was out with some buddies. He said, bro, all I got is some underwear and that's it. I said, well, hell, I got a tank top and some tennis shoes. I said, just grab me some underwear. They look like shorts, right? So I'm over there getting changed, and he basically traded this guy a thing of pot for a pit ticket. He's like, bro, you want to go in the pit? I said, fuck yeah. I said, I'm in my manual chair. We can get there easy. So I'm like, how are we going to do this? Because, I didn't know what the restrictions were for people in wheelchairs because, in the pit, like when it gets crowded, you're on the
Oh
floor.
yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, let's just go. So we roll in. They open up the door, and I'm sitting there having it because they were on tour with Bullet for My Valentine and Lamb of God. So I'm like, oh, let's go, dude. So we're having a good time. I said, hey, man. So this guy, one thing you need to know about people with CP and disabilities, when you go to a concert, people aren't used to seeing this. And this is one reason why I do what I do and why I want to talk to you is because, yeah, it's cool that we're a celebrity and we have all these people around us and want to do all this shit for us and do all this cool stuff. I'm like, all right. So this guy walks up to me and we're having a good time. So I said, hey, I want to go crowd surfing. He goes, you want to go crowd surfing? I said, yeah, pick me up out of my chair. So I went crowd surfing during Bullet for My Valentine, went flying across the arena. They're picking me up and they lift me up. I'm flying across the arena. So I get down in my chair and the dude's like, hey, man, I want to take you on stage. I said, really? I said, let's fucking do this shit. He's like, and my buddy was like, nah, bro. Because one thing about me, I'm crazy. If you tell me you want to do something and I'm down to do it, we'll do it. So he's like, hey, bro. He's like, I want to take you on stage. So my buddy looked at me and said, nah, bro. He said, if anybody takes you on stage, it's going to fucking be me. Nobody else is doing this shit. I said, all right. So he's like, man, you really want to? Because I had to convince him because I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy, bro. There's all kind of pyro and technos and tech, all that shit. He's like, bro, I don't know about that. I'm like, bro, we only live once. And he's like, fuck it. I'm going to take you on stage. So they go to the security guard working the gate, right? The barricade right there. Well, they go and talk to him for about, I say about 20 or 30 minutes. He comes back. So my buddy slips him $20 to let us go past the barricade to get up on stage.
Oh,
So they have this bright idea. Now I'm in a manual chair. I can't move myself at all. So they have this bright idea that they're gonna pick the chair up and throw it over the rail. I said, "Fuck it, let's go. I'm down to do whatever." So when they go to pick the chair up and they go to throw it over the rail, my wheels come off the chair. I'm on the ground. I said, "Hey, hey, hey, motherfucker! I'm on the ground." He goes, "You're on the ground? Oh shit!" So I said, "You gotta pick me up, man." He goes, "Oh shit!" So the lights come back on, but they get scared because that's how they dropped the chair. I left that part out. The lights were off at this
okay.
time, but the lights come back on, and the dudes that were picking me up got scared, and the chair fell off the wheels. So like, hey man, you gotta pick me up. Well, the guy that we paid $20 to get me over the rail had went on he had went on break or whatever. So when they go to, my buddy was like, fuck it, grab him up and just take him over there. So the security guard that was on the other side of the rail, the other guy on the other side, saw them grabbing me and tried to carry me over the rail. He grabbed me. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting on stage, motherfucker. That's what I'm doing because I was drunk." And he goes, you're not getting on stage. I said, "Yes, I am." Well, about that time, Sid comes down off the DJ booth. He's like, "Dude, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm getting on fucking stage." He goes, "You're fucking crazy." So he jumps back on stage, and my buddy was like, "What are we gonna fucking do?" So I had four of them with me. So the guy that tried to pick up the chair, I said, "Dude, y'all just hold on a second." So they tried to grab me up by my arms and feet and carry me over the rail, carry me up the steps. Well, my other buddy that was grabbing my legs, he got grabbed by security. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, we're getting on stage." So my buddy that had me at the top, he grabbed me. I said, "Oh, my foot, my foot." He said, "Fuck your foot, motherfucker. We're going on stage." And about that time, we run across the stage. And so I didn't know this at the time. But it makes sense because you know what happened with Dimebag and all that. They gotta have
Yes. Oh, yeah,
security in
yeah.
case
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
happens. That
Yep.
happened. Well, I forgot about that part. So I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Corey Taylor, security guard, or whatever. Well, I'm laying on my back. I'm having a good time. I'm laying on my back. Clown came off the stage, off where he was at. He was giving me five. I'm looking at him dead in the eye. He's giving me five. He giving me drumsticks. We're having a good time.
Oh, sick.
Well, about that time, I don't know if it was Corey Taylor's security guard or something came up behind me and was trying to beat me off the stage. He was trying to beat me off the stage. My buddy is pushing me on the stage. He said, "Motherfucker, he's going on stage." And they were like, "Hey, you," because they were punching me. He's like, "Hey, motherfucker, you can't be punching him. He's got CP. He's got CP. Stop." And I don't know what's going on. So I'm just chilling, having a good time. And my buddy is pushing me on the stage. And about that time, Corey Taylor's security guard got a hold of me and they couldn't push me anymore. Well, when he punched me one last time, I
Whoa,
fell off.
where did he hold on, stop for a sec. Where did he punch you? He said you actually punched you?
Yeah, he hit me. But I was so drunk, I didn't know what was going on. He hit me. When he hit me, I fell off the stage. And I said, "Hey," I fell 6 foot off the stage, right? I hit the concrete. I said, "Hey," and I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was about to either die or break my neck. I said, "Well, here we go." So I hit the ground, and I think I'm getting trampled on because at concerts it gets crazy. I mean, they were doing psychosocial, so people were going wild. So I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna hit the ground, and I'm not gonna be able to get back up," which I can't get back up anyway. So I was really ready to fucking die. So about that time, I said, "Hey, hey, hey, motherfuckers, give me my chair back." I don't know how this happened, but by the grace of God, my other buddy was standing on stage with me, and the other two buddies that were with me, they were fighting police. Like there was police running everywhere. They were fighting police, getting pushed out the backstage door. And about that time, the security grabbed me up, threw me on stage, and they said, "Okay, you can sit on stage for 2 songs." My drunk ass kept asking, "Am I gonna meet Corey Taylor? Am I gonna meet Corey Taylor?" And they said, "You can sit up here for 2 songs." And then I left. Well, they jerked my chair out from underneath me. Like, they didn't jerk it, but they pulled me off stage. I left, and I'm sitting there by the backstage by the tour buses, and the guy comes out there and goes, "Hey, whose fucking idea was this?" I said, "It was mine, motherfucker. Why'd you get on to me?" He said, "Well, I didn't know who." He said, "I didn't know who fucking idea this shit was. It's not fucking cool. Y'all are all gonna have to be locked up." I said, "Look, bro." I said, "If you lock them up, I have no fucking way to get home and nobody to fucking pick me up. So you're not gonna lock me up, because if you lock me up, we all gotta go. What the fuck am I gonna do?" He was like, "All right, bro." After like 15, 20 minutes of talking, he said, "Look, that's what I'm gonna do." He said, "I'm taking everybody's fucking ID, and y'all all banned from this fucking arena for a year." I said, "Yes, sir. Let us fucking go." So we went back out to the car and listened to the rest of the concert so we could hear it outside. And all these people, when they came out, all them people that were in that concert knew who the fuck I was. They
No
said, "Oh,
way.
huh?" Yeah,
I
they
said,
said,
no
"Oh,
way. That's cool.
yeah." Yeah, they said, "Oh, you're that motherfucker that was on stage one day." I said, "Fuck yeah, that was me." So all these people are going crazy. "That's that guy that was on stage. That's that guy right there that was on stage. What the fuck?" So I got like 3 T-shirts and all kind of shit, man. It was fucking crazy. And I've always wanted to tell Corey Taylor that story, because he looked at me like me and him looked dead in the eye for like 2 seconds. He looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. And I wanted to tell him, I didn't mean no harm to you. All I wanted to do was get next to you, sit with you, and rock out on stage. And man, that was my moment, back in the 90s when the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine jumped off the stage at the MTV Awards or some shit.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
that's what I was thinking about. I was like, "Well, fuck, if the Slipknot can do crazy shit like Clown can set itself on fire." I said, "If they see me jump on stage, they'll love that shit." And then Corey Taylor would want to hang out with me and get to know me, and he want to fucking rock out. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I want to do was headbang with him and hear him tell these crazy stories about how this guy was in a wheelchair jumped on stage with him. But that's clearly not what happened. So yeah, I got my ass beat by security at Lakewood, and they told me not to come back for a year.
What's it? Who was filming, man? That's where it's at. You had a buddy that recorded everything.
Well, I didn't have a buddy that recorded everything because they were trying to figure out what was going on with security. And the angle he was at, you can see a shadow of them grabbing my arms and my feet and walking me up the stage. But after that, that's all you see. But I did send you the video of when I was actually on stage with the security or whatever. That's what you saw.
Yes, that's cool, man. I may have to
Yeah.
insert it into this interview.
Absolutely. So yeah, if Corey Taylor's watching this, man, hit me up. Let's do something about it. Let's talk about it and put it in a fucking crazy video or something.
Yeah, I'll try to get him to see this, man. That's really
Yeah.
cool. What's better, skydiving or being on stage with Slipknot, drunk
Being,
and
being on stage with Slipknot, because like, dude, like I do it with a lot of I have dealt with a lot of depression and stuff, and life does get me down, but I don't let it stop me. But man, when I actually listen to music, if I wasn't in a chair or I wasn't like this, I would be playing music and be touring and all kind of shit. So, and I've actually tried to start my own band promotion company and all kind of stuff. So I actually like to work behind the scenes of music. And I don't know if you remember when Project 961 was here. I got to know them
yes,
really well.
yep.
So I used to go up to the studio when they would record, when Knox would record at night. I used to go up there and hang out with him, and I used to go to concerts. They would see me, and I'd get free water and shit. And so yeah.
Going back to this catheter thing you're saying, how many beers can one catheter hold at one time? This is important information. We got to know this, man.
I don't know, but that's a good question.
I mean, you fill it up to the brim, right? I mean, this
Oh
sounds
yeah,
like
this bag is strong, dude. You can hold probably about a 12-pack in there. A funny story about me. too. I'm all about, being independent, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm not paying for beer. So funny thing was, they won't let you have any beer in there on, at Lakewood. Not me. I fill my urinal up with beer and I go in there with it. Oh, it's just pee, dude. That's all it is. And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
okay, you can go on through. So, and then I've actually bought a whole 12 pack of beer in there with me. And my buddy was like, yeah, it's just this CPAP machine, and it's all good.
yeah, man, you got some perks, man. You get like perfect parking. The cops can't take you away because they're gonna take everybody with them.
Exactly, man. I've been at Lakewood before and been like one time I was out there, they won't let you come back out. They won't let you go back out once you go in. And I told him, I said, dude, because I had to go get my medicine, I said, dude, if you don't let me go out of this gate, I'm about to fucking freak out on you. And you don't want to see that. So I made myself shake and act like I was about to freak the fuck out. So I said, I backed up the gate. I said, and I slammed in the gate as hard as I could. He said, go, go, go. So I went back to the car, got my medicine, and then after I got my medicine, I got more beer and then sold all the beer for t-shirt money. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So, another thing, you got a nonprofit by the horns thing you're doing, right? Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that?
It's me and my sister. So basically, what we're doing is pretty much everything I've talked to you about. We're all about teaching people with disabilities how to eliminate their disability, as well as eliminate the gap between people with and without disabilities, and teach them that, hey, just because someone has a disability, don't mean you can't hang out with them, don't mean you can't have a good time with them. And back to what you said about people being scared and young kids or mothers or whatever. That's the whole point of By the Horns, is to show people without disabilities that it doesn't take much to get to know someone like me. All you gotta do is just go to a concert, hang out with me, have a good time, and then once you get to know me, that is actually by you conversating with me, then you realize there's no gap between our disability or our abilities and stuff like that. You realize that we're all the same, and we're both, we all have the same hopes and dreams as everyone. It doesn't matter about their disability. It's just all about engaging with somebody and getting to know them for who they are. Because once you realize that we all have the same hopes and dreams as anyone else.
I love that. When you were saying that, I was thinking also, like, it would just be so cool if you guys, you're doing these interviews on YouTube. If you actually did an interview with like maybe a kid or somebody or anybody that's curious about what you have, and just be like, no judgment here, just ask me anything. I think
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
yeah. If you go back on my YouTube, I actually done that with my neighbor who didn't know nothing about disabilities, and we talked about how my hands move and how he really works with me to get do a good handshake and stuff like that, because he always told me you have a firm handshake and you talk well and you speak well, then people will treat they won't see the disability. And another cool part about me, you said something about tattoos. Well, that's why I get tattooed, is because I want people to see past my chair. So I use
Cool.
the concept of having tattoos, because once you see my tattoos, you open up about disability. After you talk about tattoos, you're like, so what is your disability? So then I'm able to educate them about what I go through and how similar our life is. And I really took the idea of being covered in tattoos by Travis Barker, because he's one of my favorite drummers. So I said, you know what? I'm going to use his concept of trying to be the best drummer he can by being covered in tattoos and not getting a job. I'm going to use that same energy and get covered in tattoos so people have to talk to me.
Yeah, man, that's a great point. So are you guys going to be doing this By the Horns? Did you say this is going to be like you guys going to have like create a website, or is this going to be a social media platform?
Yeah, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and we have YouTube. So we do stuff on YouTube. We videoed us camping. We videoed my mom and my sister went on a hot air balloon. So it's just all about getting out there and encouraging others to live their dreams and do what they want to do through watching us. And we just hope that through watching us, you want to be a part of what we're doing and live your dreams.
I love it, man. That's a beautiful thing. I'm excited to visit and check it out. You guys need a fancy T-shirt or something that I can wear. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll send you. I have stickers, and I'll send you some T-shirts that you
I'll
can wear.
pay for this too. I don't want to. I'm not a freebie. I'm just saying it'd be cool to have something like that. You know.
No, no, we already have it. And that's why I have it. I have it for people like you, so you can get on podcasts like this and talk to other musicians. And one of my biggest goals, and one of the reasons why I get tattooed also, is because I'm a big fan of music, and I'm also big into my faith and big into Christianity. So my aunt and uncles were out. Well, my aunt actually was like, "You don't need to get tattoos. It said that in the Bible you can't get tattoos." Well, then when Brian had Welch came out about his faith, and he said that God spoke to him about getting tattoos and stuff, I said, "That's what I can do. I can use show my faith through my tattoos." So he has also been a really big inspiration to me too, to explore yourself with tattoos, but do it in a tasteful way to represent God and who you are.
That's a beautiful thing. That's amazing. I love that, and I love that you have faith like that. I do too. Um, I've had Brian Welch on the show a couple of times, and he was such a cool, down to earth dude.
Yes, I've actually I seen that episode where it was you, him, and Morgan, and it was actually funny because on the podcast I thought it was hilarious. I laughed for 10 minutes after he said I had to go shit. I
It always, you always think, where's the genesis?
shit.
Do you remember?
I have to shit.
Yeah, party.
Like, no.
Do you remember?
Turn off my mic.
Do you remember when we used to
I
go
mean,
to,
it has to stay on there,
yeah,
right?
it has to, yeah. Do you remember we used to go to hip hop shows in like the late 80s, early 90s?
was like, that's funny.
Best part.
I was glad you left that in there because it was so hilarious. And then after that, I really been pushing to meet him and actually talk to him. I want to talk to him like I'm talking to you, but like, what's up, man? So it's always been a big, I've always wanted to go backstage and hang with the guys at Korn and see what they do.
Yeah. Do you reach out to any of these guys on like
Yes,
Instagram or anywhere?
actually I do, but one thing about my sister and what she tells me, I'm trying to do it creative ways because with these Instagram and things like that, they're over, they get a lot of messages, so it may not
Yes.
always go to
Yeah.
them. So yeah, because my sister actually, not to get off subject and talk about my sister,
No.
but she actually has went viral on Instagram. I don't know if you remember the guy that got paid in pennies and the oil. It was here.
No, I didn't see it. I gotta check that out.
That's my sister's husband, and she posted one video on Instagram, and it instantly went viral. And he had like
Wow.
inside edition and all kind of stuff. All these people trying to call him to do stuff, and that's what kind of strays me away from going to Instagram because I know Brian will never really see it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so
True.
it's so crazy. But yeah, I try to reach out to anybody I can. I reached out to Morgan a few times because, like I was saying the other day or yesterday, Morgan actually grew up with my aunt. When he was in Stiff Kitty, my aunt was a
Stiff Kitty.
model. Yeah, my aunt was a model at the time, so they hung out actually way before he was famous because she dated his best friend. So she was like, "Yeah, Morgan, I always wanted me to be the singer of the group and all kind of stuff." So yeah.
Oh, did he remember?
Yeah, he remembers my aunt. Yeah, every time he sees her, he remembers. Because when I was at the Tabernacle last time, we actually went by the buses and we parked right there, and we didn't have no backstage pass or not because it's so hard to get into it.
Yeah.
So he came walking down the steps, and she said Morgan, and he was on the phone, and he pointed at her and said, "Yeah, I remember you." So we got to come over there, have a conversation, and talk and stuff. And that was my second time meeting him because I went with his best friend at the time. He actually flew in from California, and I got to go and meet Morgan and actually have a little bit of time with him. It wasn't much. Funny story, actually, going back to CP and disabilities. One of the hardest part for us to go to shows and to get interact like this is having transportation because transportation
yeah.
is very, very hard to come by. So right now my van is actually, it's not running, so I can't really go anywhere. Luckily, I have a caregiver that gets me and puts me in the other car we have. But if other people don't have that van and that transportation, they can't go. My van has a blown head gasket right now. And the reason why I bring that up is because when I went to see Morgan the first time at Seven Dust, I was gonna get to hang out with the whole band and get on the bus and stuff. Because sometimes Morgan's friend would ride the bus to the show with them to hang
Oh,
out with
cool.
them for a little bit. So he actually flew in. So I was actually gonna get to hang out with Morgan, the whole band. I was set up to meet LeJohn. Well, during the show, he actually got the missing. I'm like, what the hell? Where's he at? He didn't come see us the whole time. He's like, bro, if you need a drink, just let me know. I'll be right here. So we could never find him. I'm like, what the hell? So we go out there and tell Morgan that he's gone or whatever. We can't find him. He's like, well, tell him I said bye or whatever. So I go. Now this is another crazy story. I go in the VIP room because we had 3 drinks. So my aunt goes to grab a drink, and this girl is laying across the pool table. And she said, come here, baby. I said, okay. So, so she proceeds to jump in my chair and drive me around. Mind you, I can't see shit. But she's in
Did
front
she
of
look good, or could you
yeah,
not see if
yeah.
she was
No,
attractive?
hold on. The story gets better.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry.
she's driving my chair around, right? So she proceeds to pull her top down in front of everybody in the VIP lounge where all these people are at. She pulls her titties out and puts my hands on her titties and proceeds to steal my aunt's drink and drink her drink and go over and get the bartender and start licking on the bartender's stomach. And the
Oh my
poor
gosh.
her boyfriend is standing there and like, what the fuck is going on? So we go to leave to find my aunt's friend, Morgan's friend. We can't find him anywhere. Well, we find out he got mistaken for somebody else that was at the show, the exact identity, everything. He got in trouble and they said he caused the fight. This guy he don't fight nobody. All he wanted to do was show me a good time, meet Seven Dust and have a good time. So we couldn't find the keys to the car anywhere. I'm talking nowhere, bro. I mean, they were nowhere. So my aunt's like, what the hell are we going to do? I'm like, I don't fucking know. At this point, I'm like, shit, what are we going to do? There's nobody to help us. The cop proceeds to tell us to get a cab. I'm like, bro, how the fuck are we going to get a cab? I'm in a big power chair. There's no way we're getting a cab. So my aunt walks around for a good 20 to 30 minutes. And I have to use the restroom because at this point in time, I didn't use the catheter because we didn't know about it. So I go in the bathroom. We slip and fall in the bathroom.
Oh no.
About bust my head open on the toilet. So I use the bathroom. We come back out. We can't find him nowhere. Luckily, and then finally they say, "Oh, your friend went to jail." We're like, "Oh shit!" So we have to go down to the cop went down to jail to get all the keys and everything. His backstage pass was in there. Everything else was in there, but not the keys.
Oh
So we're
no.
like, what are we gonna do? So my aunt was trying to figure out how to get the keys from the van. So she's like, maybe I can use a tree stick and we can get the keys in there. So I didn't leave that venue until 6 o'clock in the morning, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go get something to eat. So we're sitting there watching the sun come up at the Waffle House at 6 a.m. in the morning. And the keys were in my damn book bag the whole time.
No way.
Yeah, they were in my book bag the whole time, bro. It was so crazy. But I do have to say I enjoyed it because, it's back when they were on, it was Dope and Black Label. So Black Label.
Oh yeah, wow.
So I
Yeah.
got to sit 5 foot away from Zach and watch him play guitar. And I went to say hey to him, and because we're all backstage, and he was like, "Move the fuck out of the way, I'm late," because he was talking to a bunch of people. It was just me. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm not getting his way. He's late. So he ran on stage, and I didn't get to meet him, but I always wanted to, say what's up to him too. But I had a bunch of people come up to me and talk to me about how nice he was. And I listened to the Osborne podcast they just came out with.
Oh yeah.
I listened to Zach, to Ozzy, and Jack and Kelly all the time, and sharing. I'm like, man, it would really be cool to meet Zach and talk to him, and So every time they talk about Zach and all that kind of stuff, I think about the time that I actually got pushed out of the way by Zach.
Man, these stories are great. I can't wait for your podcast and hearing you, you know, interact with people. And that's, I think a lot of people will like to hear it.
Yeah, it's called. You have a Spotify account, and this is something you might help with because I have it on Spotify, but I don't know how to get it out to where it can be on every platform. I think my sister knows how to do it, but it's called "Getting Crazy with Crazy Wheels," and it talks about everything from the story with Slipknot to concerts to just my struggles with depression and how I overcome it. So you literally get an inside view of what I go through day in and day out. And one day I was super depressed and I was just down on myself. And I was like, man, I got to record this. Like I was literally telling you what I was feeling and how it feels to be depressed.
Mm,
And then I'd share, but I did it because I was in a documentary called 6 Hours Waiting. And what it was about the Medicaid system and how it only takes 49 cents a day to take care of someone to get them out of institutions. And when I was filming that documentary, it was me and there's me. I'm the fun guy. I was the guy that was jumping out of airplanes, showing people
yes.
all the cool stuff you can do. And then you had a guy who was one of my good friends who was stuck in a nursing home. And he's been there for about 8, 9 years now. And once you're stuck in the system, it's hard to get out. And
Really?
so and the reason why I say that is because during that time of filming the documentary, the director was like, be real, just be yourself. Don't hold back. Don't people want to see honesty. They want to see what you're really like. So, me, I really honed in on that and I love acting, I love the camera, I love documentaries. So I really honed in on what he said. And from that point on, I said, you know what? I got to remember what the director said. Be real, be honest, be raw. So that's why I sat down and literally recorded a podcast episode about what I was feeling and how I was depressed.
I love it. So is depression something you deal with a lot, or is that just kind of come and go? Because I've dealt with that in the past before with anxiety and depression. Or do you deal with
It,
anxiety too? Or because some of those are
yeah,
kind of
yes,
similar.
it comes and goes. Um, Back when I was about 20 years, probably 16, 17, I didn't really struggle with depression because I had all kind of friends around and we were always doing something, we were, being partying and getting, crazy like any other teenager. Like one time my dad left the house. He's like, all right, I'll be back in a little bit. Y'all don't do nothing crazy. Well, my mom's best friend was watching the house and watching me and my friend. She's like, all right, I'm going to leave and I'll be back in about an hour. I said, I thought to myself, you fucked up. Because when she left, I called everybody I knew. I was like, hey man, I said, let's park in the back, dude. We're gonna have a party. So when my dad got home, there was like 20 people
Oh no.
in my backyard. He said, where the fuck did all these cars come from? I said, I don't know, bro. And so it's funny because I have to have assistants going to the bathroom. So you got to pick me up and put me on the toilet if I don't have my catheter on. So we're all drunk as shit and we're all having a good time. So all these people are in the bathroom because they're taking pictures of my cousin putting me on the toilet drunk. And I'm trying to hold myself up on the toilet because I'm drunk. So he grabs me between my legs, trying to hold me up between his legs and my head, trying to pull down my pants. And my dad came in there and said, what the fuck are you doing? He said, John, I'm just trying to put him on the toilet. It's okay. He said, oh, he said, y'all fucking pissed me off. Got all these fucking cars in my driveway, and I drove 6 hours from North Carolina. I got to deal with this shit. What the fuck? So, yeah, it was quite funny. But, I mean, and the reason why I say that is because back at that time, I didn't have a lot of depression because I had a lot going on. I had friends. But back when it come to college age and stuff like that, when you go to college and you go to the next step of life, I didn't have that because whenever you're in the system, you're in the school system, they want to help you. They want to do everything for you because they have to by law. But once you get out, they don't have to do shit for you. They don't have to find you a job. They don't have to do anything. So that's when I started getting depressed is when all my friends left to go to college and then the next phase of their life. And I'm just sitting here like, what do I do now? I didn't have a caregiver at the time because I didn't have what they call the Medicaid waiver. And the Medicaid waiver is money that the government gives the state of Georgia gives individuals with disabilities, if you qualify, they give you money to make goals to reach the next step of your life. And so before I got that, I would actually sit at home and wait for my mom to go to Walmart just like to get out of the house. And like I told them in the documentary, I said, what kid at 19, 20-year old wants to sit at home and wait for his mom to go to Walmart just to get out of the house? So
Mhm.
that's actually another reason why we created By the Horns, is so that we can get these people out in the community and get them living again, as well as teach other people without disabilities to be their friend and make a connection of friendship to where they can have friends, to where, like, if I get to know you at By the Horns event, I'm like, hey Scott, you want to go see Corn tomorrow or next week or next month? You're like, yeah man, I know you, you're used to me, so you pick me up in the car and we go see Corn and shit.
Mhm. Yeah, that's dude. Yes, I love that. That's you partying with your friends is pretty funny, man. Feel like you need to have your own reality show on these kind of moments.
Yes, that's actually what the director of the documentary said. He's like, "Hey man, can we film that?" I was like, "Nah, bro, I don't think they want that on the documentary. It is a funny story, but we're trying to, create we're spreading the message here. Well, I would love to film that for YouTube or something, but not for this." He's like, "Man, you're fucking awesome, bro."
Yeah, and another thing is it takes so much work to go to the bathroom. I just figured maybe you'd smoke weed and just give alcohol up, so you wouldn't
No,
have to piss so much.
I don't really drink that much anymore, but I do smoke a little weed from time to time because it relaxes the muscles and it relaxes, it helps me relax. Because one thing about CP is your muscles are very tense, and there is some mental delay sometimes, because like sometimes if you tell me a joke, I'll be like, huh, wait a second, what? And then I'll figure out that, that's funny as shit. So all my friends say I got like a 5 second delay. And it's funny that you bring up deer hunting, because a lot of loud noises and pops they affect our muscles. It's called acute syndrome.
Hmm.
So when the effects of deer hunting, whenever I deer hunt, I don't focus on the gun because I'm focused on the deer and what I'm doing. And it really helps, control the mind, and when helps me control my muscles and stuff.
Wow, man. Do you have? Can you? Do you play games to strengthen your brain and stuff like that? Does that help?
No, actually, I just listen to music, and I'm very creative, and I love doing interviews like this, and I love listening to music, and I'm always talking to people about different ways to get out there. I'm actually a lot of the brains behind the By the Horns. I'm the brains behind it, as my sister
Hmm.
said. I come up with all these connections, and I really want to tell this story about Slipknot and get my story out there and educate people about disabilities. And I've been watching your podcast for a long time. And finally, I said, you know what? I told my caregiver, I said, let's hit up Scott Bowman. Let's start doing some networking and see what we can do. And that's how it all came about.
Yeah, man. I want to definitely try to get your name out there. I was thinking a good person also you should talk to is Mikey from the band Islander. He
Yes,
helped me get so many people, and he was just amazing. I mean,
I love Islander. I've been listening to them since day one.
you should. He would probably be on your podcast, man. That'd be cool to see you guys have a conversation. Mikey's a really really cool guy.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I'd love to help network, man. I'm glad that you're on the show too, man. This means a lot to me. This is
Well,
cool.
thank you, man. It means a lot to me. You're the first podcaster that actually really reached out to me that really want to do something. I'm like, this is cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about that too the other day because, you sent me an email, and I've had requests on emails, and I don't respond to them, but with yours, I mean, you hit me like with the way you worded everything, it just caught my eye right away, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool.
Yeah, man. I'm on a serious mission, and anybody can help. With a glare at God and putting God first, and really getting out there and showing my love for music and people, man. I think we can, me and you and other people, can really make a difference and make a change.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to help, man. I'd love to stay in contact, man. I'd love to try to help you.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, but I'd love to come to the house, and I've even thought about, like, if it would be cool with you and the musician that you have coming in for a podcast. I would love to just sit back in the back and just see how you do things from that end,
Yeah, man. Next
and,
time we have one, we'll try to work that out. That'd be cool.
and see what life is like on the other side and get to know them. And really, I'll bring you some stickers and a T-shirt.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, and I'll hook you up too, man.
oh yeah, awesome.
Dude, this has been a blessing to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I like
Thanks.
how you got to be entertained for the first 10 minutes of me picking my nose and
Yeah, it was great. One thing I do want to say is I don't want to say too much about it, but I'm also working on a project with Georgia Tech to do a film project to get the students more involved with people with disabilities as well. I actually have a meeting with the lead of communication and TV tomorrow about a film project that I want to do there as well.
that's amazing, man. Oh, that's so cool. Did you reach out to him, or like how did that
Yeah.
happen?
No, I just reach out to him myself, man. I'm networking is what I do. Speaking is what I do. If I want to, like, dude, for real. When I was like in the like, I didn't know nothing about rock. Like I said in 2006, it was all rap for me. But dude, I shit you not. I would literally listen to 90s alternative. I would listen to Project 961, turn down at night, really low, and I would hear them songs in my head, dude. I was just that passionate. I would listen to Deftones and I would see myself sitting on the side stage with them in my head, and I would picture myself working for them as a drum tech or a roadie or something. Like I would picture myself
Dude,
getting close to them and knowing them. So yeah, whatever
you're
I can do.
manifesting it. You're just building it up in your head. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. You know when I don't know if you remember Project Homegrown when it was here
It sounds
with
familiar. But you talking about the
when
radio station?
yeah, 105.3 The Buzz. My cousin was actually heavy. Did you ever hear of the band Accelerate? They got kind of big. It was kind of like a rap rock group. It was kind of like Lincoln.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it was Lincoln Park on steroids. So I did a lot of promoting for them, and I did a lot of promoting for. I don't know if you heard of Project Independent, but it was like this nationwide tour with nothing but metal bands. And they would actually have a contest where people got to pick the band that they wanted to go on tour for like 2 months. And they had these different bands you could listen to and you had to vote on them. Well, I got to know that guy really well. And he was like, dude, you want to help me book a show? And it didn't work out. But he actually was going to let me go out and find bands to help him book the showcase for Atlanta. They used to do it at Breakers Music Hall. I don't know if you remember that venue, but it was a while back.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I need you to like promote some good company, man.
Oh yeah. Just, I don't all the thing you sent me on Facebook yesterday. I came up with a whole post. Like what I said was all me. That I just
Oh, wow, man. That's cool.
yeah. I feel like I have I feel like I was created to promote and bring people together.
Man, I want some of your you're so outgoing, man. I need some of that, dude. You inspire people, man. You inspire me.
Thank you. Well, I watch a lot of DJs and like I don't know if you listen to Octane and stuff, but
Yeah.
I watch their videos and I watch how they do things and I watch other people interview. Like I don't know if you do this, but when you interview, I can be listening to you and think about the next question I'm going to ask based on what you're saying as you're saying.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that. And I mean, it's a skill because you got to do two things at once: listen and come up with your next thing. Oh, and last thing, you were telling me about getting you're using Spotify. I use a program called this is just one of that I use called Buzzsprout, and it's yeah. And so what you do is you pay them once a month. You pay them like once a month, monthly or yearly, but they shoot your podcast to all platforms.
Awesome.
So like every place that has that you can listen to a podcast, your podcast will pop up there.
I think that might be the one my sister was talking about because she did mention something like that. So that
it's great. So you just upload it one time and then it goes everywhere.
That's awesome. But I'll definitely send you the link to my podcast, and if you want to link it underneath the episode. I haven't done anything in like a while because like I don't know if you saw my message, but I'm trying to find a way to use a noise canceling microphone. I have a pod mic, but I have to buy the processor with it. I'm not sure about what to buy and things, so I don't want to buy the wrong thing. But I didn't realize when my sister bought me the microphone that we had to have the processor. But yeah, I want to continue doing it. I got like 7 episodes on my own. I just sat in my room and I edited it all myself.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Does editing come easy to you, or did you have to?
With a podcast, yes, but with video, no. I hate editing video. So when we started by the horns, and my sister said, "I'll edit the video," I said, "You can have all the video editing you want." But a lot of the videos on my personal YouTube channel, I edited myself.
That's cool. Very cool, man. Hey, Ben, man, I appreciate you being on the podcast. This means a lot. I know a lot of people are gonna be excited to hear your Slipknot story. That's
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, like I said, anybody who wants to talk to me, you can. I know you got me on Facebook, Instagram. Anybody can hit me up anytime. I'm down to talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime.
yeah. I'll try to add all the links so people can send you messages, and I'm gonna try to reach out to a couple people and see if you can interview them or they can help you out, man. That'd be cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
And man, I appreciate it again, Ben. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man.